Hey guys, what's going on? This is Hockey Squirrel. It's Tuesday, March 9th, and I have two free picks to give out today. We're going to start here with the Boston Bruins and the New York Islanders. I thought that this, just initially upon looking, was going to be another one of those low odds, kind of a weird set line like we saw yesterday with Vegas and the Wild. There was serious red flags that were raised for me yesterday when that line came out on Vegas, and I ended up laying off the game altogether, and lo and behold, the Wild did come through and won 2-0 in the end. We saved ourselves a unit yesterday on that, and I thought that this game kind of off the bat was looking the same for whatever reason, and upon looking deeper into the stats and the lineups, there's really not too much I can find that I don't like about the Bruins, and you're getting an excellent team at pretty good odds. So there's a few things I don't like, I suppose, but we'll go over that. So my pick today is going to be the Bruins at -115. So don't go running off on the 60-minute line, on the puck line, trying to win by 2 and get all this extra value or plus, 170 whatnot on the puck line, because the Islanders do play a solid defense. Varlamov's great in net, and there could be potential for overtime in this game, so we're just going to protect ourselves and try to play it as safe as we can on the money line. Hopping over to the penalty minutes, we do take a lot of penalties on this team, and this is something I typically try to avoid betting on. And most of the time, I will bet against it because we're getting a good value on the Islanders here, where you're taking over 4 minutes less penalty time per game. Leads to the power play, leads to scoring opportunity, and 22.7 isn't awful. I tend to like 25 to 30. 30 being on the higher end of what a really good power play is if you're not too sure what you're looking for. So, that really right there would be one thing that would kind of concern me, is the amount of penalty time. But I will go over how this can work in our favor, actually, when we get to the lineups. So we've kind of been over power play. These would be the opportunities that each team has had and how many they've scored on 62 or 66 opportunities. Each team has scored 15. Bruins, again, though, also a good defensive team with I think a league best penalty kill at 89.2%. Here you have to factor in that we've played 3 less games. So when you total the amount of goals that we can potentially score in 3 more games, could we get to 10? Absolutely. That's, just over 3 goals a game, right? Which is doable for this Bruins team. We haven't been scored on a huge amount. Neither have the Islanders. So does this potentially point to a low-scoring game? Possibly. But I'm not taking the total. I just want to stick with the Bruins here. I don't mind the goalie matchup. I think Varlamov's probably a little bit more at an advantage even at home, and he's just a solid goalie. And none of these injuries here really affect the lineups, and let's hop over to that. So starting with Boston Bruins, this is the perfection line, is what it's referred to in hockey. A lot of people think that this is the best line, and I think it's very well up there. These guys, just in general, these 3, because they're also on the power play unit, they're very, very dangerous. They can score. Pasternak's incredible. The playmaking ability of just this line alone is worth a lot of value. We get a great center here. Really, basically, straight down the center, all these guys are great. This Trent Frederick, I'm pretty sure, is new, and he's an agitator, as we saw if you watched the last Capitals game when they played the Bruins. We saw Ovechkin absolutely rack this kid in the nut cup. He was asking for it all game long. Just irritating. And you get players like Marchand, who is kind of known as an agitator. Players like Tom Wilson, they get suspended a lot. Why? Because they're agitators. They just I don't want to say they play dirty, but sometimes, yeah, they kind of do, and it's to get under the skin of the other team and make them play bad. You know, they throw them off their game. So I'm fine with the offensive lines here. Kind of the bottom pairing, not a huge fan of. Zaboral's been playing pretty fine. Got Grizzlick back, and pretty much all I have for that team. And we'll flip over to the other side of this game, and the first line still is going to be their best players, even into the second line. They're fine down the middle as well. So this is all speaking for a 50-50 matchup so far, but I'm worried about the wingers on their third and fourth lines, where I think there's a potential to be taken advantage of from these more experienced kind of veteran guys. And I think they might have a size advantage physically as well, just overall on the team, but also as these lines get deeper, I think these guys are still fairly large. And as I said, their defense has been great. So all this kind of considered, it may sound like I would honestly have a lean towards the Islanders, but those penalty minutes where they're agitating, that's where they're coming from, are people like Frederick, people potentially like Marchand, who are getting under the skin of the other team and throwing off their game. So is that worth some penalty minutes? That's something we have to consider, and in this case, I think it may be. So I'm going to roll with the Bruins money line, and let's hop down so this video isn't super long and drawn out. I'm just trying to give you guys the most information possible here. With the Blackhawks, I took them plus 115, and one thing to watch out for is that I took this pick and gave it out, and after I did, they switched the goalie, confirmed, to Malcolm Subban, who I'm not a huge fan of, especially against Khudobin. But the Blackhawks have shown me a ton of fire and get up and go, and they've really turned it around from the beginning of the year. I think they've kind of learned to adjust to being able to get by without a lot of these top players. They have a ton of injuries, but so do the Stars. I think we have Klingberg out, which is, in my opinion, their best defenseman. Bishop's still not back. Rope Hintz, questionable, and if he is out, they lose a lot of depth at center today. He's been kind of in and out of the lineup, and I don't think they play nearly as well without him. We still don't have Radulov. Sagan's getting some surgery. So, with all these injuries considered, what are we left with? We're left with a Blackhawks team that I think can really get the puck in the net. They've shown me that. I think Stars have trouble scoring. We got a penalty minute advantage. We've got a great kick-ass power play from what I've seen here. And really the only thing that I'm worried about is the goalie. But to get a value play in today, I think that the Blackhawks are a fine choice. If we want to go over these lineups as well, we still have Kane, DeBrincat. This Sutter has been great. Kubalik is awesome. Kurashev's been stepping up. I mean, we just have potential to put the puck in the net, and these guys have really stepped up and tried to make a name for themselves if they weren't known before. Defensively, I mean, we got some big bodies. We got veteran guys. And I really wish we had Lankin in today, and I would feel extra good about this bet. But I still think it's worth the value. This team, I mean, I know all the players on this team, but they're not exceptionally great. You know, they're not all Patrick Kanes and Steven Stamkos type players. And I think Klingberg should be brought out of this defensive pairing here today. I don't think he's going to be in the game. But they still do have some decent players, some big guys. My only worry about this game would be the Stars' defense and getting past Khudobin. But in terms of offensive ability, I think that the Blackhawks hold a little bit of an edge today. So that's going to be it today. Sorry for the super long video. I'm not sure where we're at in terms of time, but I just want to give you guys the most information possible. And I do have a few more plays today as well. I just went live with my full card every day. It's now $249 at benderwins.com. if you're interested. Otherwise, if that's not something that you're interested in, I will be doing these free pick videos roughly 3 days a week, giving out a play or two here and there. But what you're getting with my package, if you were interested, is I have a detailed stat sheet that I break down every single day. I do in-depth write-ups on all of the games that I'm picking and explain to you why I'm picking them. And I'm also available on social media if you want to join the Facebook group and send any questions or post in there as well. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and good luck tonight.